In the heart of Queensland's tropical rainforest, not far from the tourist-friendly town of Babinda, there's a stretch of water that's become infamous. It's beautiful, undeniably so. Clear, cool, water weaves its way between smooth granite boulders. The air is thick with the scent of eucalyptus and the sound of cascading water. It's the kind of place that belongs on a postcard. But if you ask the locals or read the weather worn warning signs nearby, you'll hear a much darker name for it.
The Devil's Pool.
It looks calm, peaceful even. But over the years, more than 20 people, mostly young men, have died there, swept away by hidden currents, sucked into crevices beneath the surface, or pulled under in what witnesses sometimes describe as a strange, almost sentient force. Some call it cursed, others say it's haunted. Some locals believe it's the restless spirit of a broken-hearted woman named Ulana. Others just call it bad luck mixed with risky behavior. But whatever it is, people keep dying, and even those who survive say they felt something off. So today, we're diving headfirst into one of Australia's most infamous natural mysteries. This is the story of the Devil's Pool. Long before the modern trails, signs, and guided tours, this place was, and still is, sacred to the Yidinji people. And I might have hacked that up, so I apologize to any of the indigenous people of Australia. I love you. The indigenous custodians of this lush rainforest land. The pools aren't just a scenic destination. They're a site of ancient power, a resting place woven deep into cultural memory. According to Yidinji, I'm going to mess that up, I apologize. According to the Yidinji legend, and I promise you, I'm not trying to mess that up. It's just, I'm terrible with it. The tragedy of the Devil's Pool begins with a woman named Ulana. She wasn't just anyone. She was young, strong, and connected to her people through marriage to a respected tribal elder. That union wasn't born from love, but duty. It represented alliance and balance within the community. Ulana and Daiga fell in love, a bond fierce and unshakable. Their love defied custom, tribal law, and obligation. And so, they fled, hoping that the forest and river would offer freedom beyond the judgment of others. Their escape didn't last, though. Tribal warriors found them not far from the granite pools, and Daiga was captured. Ulana, wild with grief, broke free. She fled to the edge of the boulders, and in a final cry of anguish, she called upon the spirits of the land, pleading for justice, or perhaps vengeance. Then she jumped. It's said that the earth itself trembled. The sky darkened, and the creek swelled unnaturally, as though answering her call. Ulana's spirit, the elders believe, never left those waters. Her pain lives on, eternal, unsettled, and full of rage. The legend isn't just a story for the Yidinji people. It's a cautionary tale about love, consequence, and balance with the land. And even today, people believe Ulana's spirit still lingers in the pool, waiting. As the years passed and more tourists arrived, the Devil's Pool earned its name through tragedy. The death toll isn't folklore. It's well documented. At least 20 lives have been lost here, and that number might be even higher depending on how far back local records go. One of the earliest widely reported deaths occurred in the 1950s. A young man was seen walking along the rocks and, without warning, slipped into the water. Witnesses tried to reach him, but it was as if he vanished. His body was later recovered, lodged deep within the rock chambers, bruised, waterlogged, and stuck fast in a space no wider than a barrel. Fast forward to 1979, and 2 more young men drowned within weeks of each other. Both were described as fit, capable swimmers. Neither was drinking, and both went in on calm days. In 2008, the case of James Bennett made national headlines. He was just 24, on vacation from Melbourne. He climbed onto the dry rock ledges near the water for a photo. Witnesses say he never got in the water. He was only standing there. Then something happened. The rock beneath him darkened, slick with algae, and he slipped. In a heartbeat, he was gone. His friends watched in horror as he disappeared beneath the surface. Authorities mounted a massive search. Police divers combed the area. Nothing. Days later, his body was recovered hundreds of meters downstream, wedged under a rock ledge. It sounds like this chick is like hoarding dudes, you know? Locals weren't surprised. They'd seen it before. Each time a new sign is installed, it doesn't take long for someone to ignore it. The language has grown more blunt over the years, from polite warnings to phrases like, "Many lives have been lost here, and you will die." And still, the death toll climbs. Because let's be honest, man, we're stupid, dude. We're dumb. We're really dumb. We go, okay, whatever, and then we go out and we do the thing, you know? Here's what's strange. Nearly every death comes with the same story. He just slipped. He wasn't even swimming, and he was right there, and then he was gone. Even when warning signs are clear, even when people stay out of the deeper water, it happens again. The rocks are slick. The currents are strong. But it's not just a river pulling someone downstream. It's people getting pulled under into tight rock crevices and hidden eddies. The kind of force that seems almost intentional. One witness interviewed by the Cairns Post said, "It's like the water changed. One second it was calm, and the next it pulled him straight down. I didn't even hear a splash." First responders have described how the pool can be almost impossible to search. Divers say there are many chambers and tunnels underneath the visible surface, tight, jagged holes that twist into the rock. In short, it's a death trap. But unlike most, it hides in plain sight. Let's get into the rational explanation, because there is one, at least sort of. Hydrologists and geologists have studied the Devil's Pool over the years, trying to pinpoint why so many people vanish so quickly. What they found paints a terrifying picture, one where the water isn't just dangerous, it's deceptive. The pool's structure includes several underwater tunnels and vertical shafts carved into the granite over thousands of years. These natural formations create what's called a hydraulic trap, a zone where fast-moving water meets slower water, causing a sudden drop in pressure that can pin a body in place. Even Olympic-level swimmers can't fight it. Here's the worst part. These hydraulic jumps can be nearly invisible from the surface. To the untrained eye, the water looks calm. maybe a ripple here or there. Nothing alarming. But underneath, that's turbulence, reverse currents, and pressure changes that can pull a person under in seconds and hold them there. Think of it like a hidden vacuum beneath the water. If you fall in, you don't go downstream, you go down. And once you're in, you can't fight it. You're trapped, tumbled, battered against stone walls, and wedged deep in crevices that are near impossible for rescue drivers to reach in time. But here's what keeps the mystery alive. There are other places in Australia with similar geological features, tight creeks, rock channels, fast water, and they don't have a death toll like this. They don't have this pattern, young, mostly male victims, many of whom weren't even swimming. Some never even touched the water. Science can explain the mechanism, but not the magnetism. I swear, everything in Australia is trying to kill you. You're not safe, dude. Not water. The rivers are trying to kill you, man. If you spend enough time in Babinda, you'll hear the same kind of stories over and over. Not from ghost hunters or thrill seekers, but from rangers, rescue workers, people who lived there their whole lives. Stories of voices echoing through the gorge, a woman crying, sometimes calling out a name. One local described it as like a sob that never finishes, just loops in the trees. A few hikers have claimed to see a figure standing in the creek, just out of reach, only to blink and find no one there. Others report sensations, cold fingers brushing their neck, sudden dizziness, and overwhelming urge to turn around. One woman described it as, quote, the worst panic I've ever felt, and I wasn't even in danger. It was like something was warning me. Look, I got the goosebumps just reading that, dude. I just got the goosies. The rocks themselves seem to carry an energy. There's a memorial boulder just upstream from the main lookout. Visitors often leave flowers or notes. Some say the boulder is always cold to the touch, even under full sun. Others swear they've caught strange, misty figures in photos, only to find nothing in the frame seconds later. Paranormal investigators have visited the site, but most say it's not like other hauntings. There's no poltergeist activity or cursed objects, just a presence, something watching and waiting. Even among skeptics, there's a shared understanding. You don't mess with this place. You don't tempt it, you don't swim it, and you don't mock the stories. Because whether it's Ulana, the land itself, or something nameless, the Devil's Pool doesn't need you to believe in it. It just needs you to be near the edge. Ask the people of Babinda what they think of the Devil's Pool, and you'll get a mix of answers. Some skeptical, some spiritual, all respectful. No one jokes about it. No one shrugs it off, and very few locals swim there. To outsiders, it's just another stop on the tourist map. But to the people who've lived in this rainforest town all their lives, the pool is a place you learn to respect early on. Teachers warn school kids about it. Rangers patrol the area, not just to protect wildlife, but to keep people from making a deadly mistake. A former emergency worker once told ABC Australia, "We used to joke about it, how the pool took people, but after a few recoveries, it stopped being funny. We'd show up, and sometimes the water would just stop cooperating." That's the only way to describe it. Even among search and rescue teams, there's a quiet superstition. Some say you can feel the tension in the air during recovery missions, like the place is watching. Others describe equipment acting up, like radios cutting out, dive gear malfunctioning, visibility dropping for no reason. One ranger, who asked not to be named, it's David, his name's David, said, "We don't go in after dark. If someone's missing and the sun's gone down, we wait. You don't search the Devil's Pool at night." The local Aboriginal community continues to treat the area as sacred. Ceremonies are sometimes held after a drowning, quiet, private rituals to restore balance and honor to the land. To them, the pool isn't evil, it's powerful, and power demands caution. There's also a kind of communal memory that hangs over Babinda. Stories passed from generation to generation, not urban legends, but lived experiences. People who lost cousins, friends, and brothers. No one has to look up the death toll. It's carved into memory, not just into the rock. Despite all this, visitors still come. Some show up for the beauty. Some, unfortunately, come for the thrill, ignoring the signs, climbing past fences and posing for photos on the very rocks where others died. Those are the ones locals quietly worry about the most. Because no matter how many warnings go up, no matter how many stories are told, there's always someone who thinks they'll be the exception. But Babinda, no one thinks that way, because everyone knows better. And I've told y'all before, everybody thinks, oh, it's not going to happen to me, it's not going to happen to me. You might be the one. You might be the one. You go into the AP trail, you might be the one. You go over towards the Bennington Triangle, you might be the one. I'm telling y'all, y'all might be the one. And you want to test this stuff, y'all might be the one. You're going to... Don't play. Don't play with that. The Devil's Pool is a paradox. It's postcard beautiful, tranquil on the surface, and absolutely deadly underneath. Maybe it's the legend of Ulana. Maybe it's geology. Maybe it's a warning we haven't learned to fully understand yet. But here's the part that matters. Every person who died here probably didn't think they were doing anything risky. And that's what makes it so haunting. So if you ever find yourself in Queensland, standing at the edge of the Babinda boulders, take a moment, look at the water, feel the air, read the signs, and then step back. Because sometimes the scariest things aren't monsters or ghosts. They're places. Places that take and never get back. This was Cracked Relic, and this was me covering the Devil's Pool out in Australia. Be careful if you're going to go around it. I've already said it enough. I'm not going to repeat myself beating a dead horse. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. As always, sources will be down in the description and coming up after this. I hope to see you in the next episode. Thank you.
It feels like I'm falling down, falling down. Oh, why won't they go away? Pictures of you